Do you know the deposit that is required to buy your investment properties? And have you also set a budget to understand what the maximum amount or value of property you could buy? Suppose you want to buy properties. Is it £100,000 worth of property? Is it 150? Is it £200,000 worth of property you want to buy? Property that is worth that amount. I'm not talking about a couple of properties here. So you need to know your budget, because what that helps you, basically helps you understand if you've got the 25% deposit to put down to buy that property. Say suppose the property you want to buy is £100,000. You need 25% of the £100,000, which is £25,000. So again, knowing the value of the properties you want to buy helps you determine and understand whether you've got that money ready, whether you've got the £25,000 ready. Again, you can then check your bank account, you can check your resources. You want to be resourceful as well. Even if you don't have the 100,000 or you don't have the £25,000, you can literally say, okay, I know this guy or that person, or I can lend this, I can borrow that from an investor. I may be able to raise that £25,000. But again, unless you know what the value of the properties you're looking to buy is, you won't be able to determine that. So again, one of the secrets basically is to understand that amount you want to buy and understand the amount you need to put down to be able to buy that property. Again, the 25% and any legal cost on stamp duty that also comes with it. Are you mortgageable, right? Are you mortgageable? Do you have the right to be able to take a loan from a bank? What do I mean by that? Because some landlords have been in the market for a very long time. They haven't bought properties for maybe a few years, and they don't know what their credit scores are. They don't know where they are in the credit score pyramid. So again, you need to understand that first. You need to know whether you are mortgageable in the first instance. You need to know that. You need to check whether you've got CCJ or not. What is CCJ? CCJ is county court judgment. It's a loan or something that you haven't paid. And again, it could be as silly as a mobile phone contract. Okay, if you took a mobile phone contract and you didn't pay you didn't pay for the bills, or you haven't literally see out the contract, again, the actual mobile company will take you to court, and then if you don't pay the money, and then obviously they would put a CCJ on your credit file. Again, that is literally a red alert for all the lenders to say they will not lend you money. Again, you have to check that, because you may have a bill that you forgot to pay, or you have a recurring subscription that you've cancelled and you didn't realize by mistake, and they've taken you to court only to find out that basically you have a CCJ on your name. And again, check that. That's a massive secret you need to understand. I had someone approached me who started their property investment journey. They literally went and buy a property not checking whether they are mortgageable or not, only to find out they've got a CCJ on their name. And guess what? They had to back out from that deal because they cannot physically buy that property because obviously they have CCJ on their name. Again, check whether you are mortgageable. And again, obviously, if you don't have CCJ on your name, approach a mortgage broker, right? Pretend like you're buying a house, right? Give them an address of a friend's house or your house where you live in if you're renting. Give them that address. Pretend like you want to buy a house. See if you can get a decision in principle. Getting a decision in principle doesn't necessarily mean you have to go ahead with that loan. It just tells you that you're looking at your credit file and doing a soft search. They may be able to lend you money to buy a property. Okay, again, it's a very kind of common thing to do. It doesn't cost you, some instances, it doesn't cost you anything. You just ask a mortgage broker to actually do that test for you so that you can then know whether you're mortgageable or not. So, how to invest in recession? It's important to know things like this. Number one, you got to be buying at discount. You have to be buying your properties at discount, because when you buy properties at discount, you make money when you buy. What do I mean by that? Suppose you saw a property that is worth, let's say £100,000, for example, right? Instead of buying that property at £100,000, you might want to negotiate and buy that property at least 10% below market price. What do I mean by that? Say the property worth 100,000 and you save 10% on your negotiation, you can buy that property at £90,000. Let me now explain to you why that is a good thing, why it is a reason why you would make money from the day you buy. You buy the property that is going for 100,000 for 90,000 instead of buying the property at £100,000. So obviously you would approach a lender, a bank that will lend you 75% of the £90,000. So 75% of the £90,000, maybe about 67,500, just to round the figures up. Let's just say about £68,000, right? So what you could do is you can then do the property up, or maybe paint and decorate if it's a new property. And then what you do, you sat on that property, get a tenant, paying for your debts, by the way, paying for your mortgage, paying all expenses with that property, and collect rent passively without doing anything with it. And you sat on it, and about a year or so, maybe a couple of years or so, let's say a year for example, property prices maybe would have gone up by 7.5% or maybe 10 or 12%. So let me just give you the tiny bit of example. Let's just say it went up by 5%. Let's just say it went up by 5%. So that property you bought at 10% discount, which worth 100,000, you bought for 90,000, now worth 105,000 pounds, because it was worth 100,000 pounds when you bought it. Estimating that property prices went up by 5%, that's an additional 5,000 pounds. So what you would then do, obviously, if you're an experienced investor, you can then go and remortgage that property at that higher price. So the bank would work into that place, looked at the property and said, actually your property worth £105,000. So what you then do, basically, you're going to remortgage at that new amount. The bank will then lend you 75% of the new amount, the £105,000. Again, that could be about 78,750. Let's just say 79,000 pounds. So what you then do, basically, you are going to pay your existing loan, which is the 68,000, right? With the 78,000 you've already got, get what? You've saved yourself £10,000 equity. You would have generated £10,000 equity. That's what you call, you make money basically whilst you sleep. You make money when you buy the property, not when you sell the property, or not when you remortgage the property, because you've given yourself that cushion. That puts you in a better position. Look, I know you may be thinking about, you need lots of money to start your property investment journey. Maybe you need 50,000, 100,000 pounds, and it's really not for you. It might be for someone who's got lots of money. Literally, I've got a good news for you, right? You do not need lots of money to start your property investment journey, because basically it's all about what you know, how to execute what you know. Like, let me tell you a bit about myself. Well, I was in a similar situation. I thought I needed a ridiculous amount of money to start my property investment journey. I've been told this since I was born, basically, literally since I was born, that I need lots of money to be able to invest in properties. I was told I need 200,000. Someone told me about 300,000. Someone told me 50,000. So people are giving me so much information, so many noises coming around me. I thought probably it's very hard to do, and I just cannot do it. Right? I had that in my head. I needed all that money, not knowing all these advices, all this information I was getting it from people that have never bought a house before. That I'm getting it from people that have never even considered buying a house before, right? I did not know that. I was thinking, what? That is lots of money to do. When I realized I was getting those noises from people that are really not invested in properties, I looked into it. A few years ago, I started my property investment journey from absolutely zero to building a multi-million pound property investment portfolio. I'm really grateful for it. I'm really grateful for the people who have actually helped me along the way, for the people I've tapped into, and obviously for the energy and the resources I was able to take advantage of to kickstart my property investment journey. So what I'm saying is, basically, if I was able to start from that point, you are able to start at that point, or even better if you've got a little money to actually start. And again, I'm not gonna sit here and talk to you and say to you it is a very easy thing to do. Obviously, it's not an easy thing to do, but if you learn, implement and replicate, you rinse and repeat, it would happen. Get someone to guide you, mentor you, take you to the next level, someone who would expedite the process to allow you to do that. And I assure you that if you do exactly what I've just told you here, you got someone to guide you along the way, you can easily generate £50,000 within the 3 months of your investment. So imagine now, let's take it to another level. Imagine now you've got these two properties, each one generating you £2,100 a month. That is £4,200 a month. month. Now you don't have to wait for 3 months to go for the next property. In about a couple of months' time, you've got how much now? You've got about £8,000, right? Because it's £4,000, £4,200 a month, plus £4,200 in another month. That's about £8,400. So what you now do, you're going to acquire 2 properties instead of 1 property. Before you think about it, by the end of the year, you are on £100,000 a year in maybe 4 or 5 properties you would have acquired. Again, these are the things you could do to take yourself from where you are to where you want to go. This is how you can make your money work a lot harder. This is how you could literally take your life from the next level to the other level. I really hope this video has been helpful. And again, if this video has been helpful, don't forget to hit the like button below. Subscribe to my channel for more of these amazing tutorials. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to sharing the next video.